Welcome back to Hollywood Pulse. Big love to everyone who's been rocking with us. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button so you never miss the heat we drop. He was all smiles like nothing was wrong, but behind that fake grin, a man who knew he was already in deep trouble and still didn't care. Go back to that viral moment on Club Shay Shay, where Katt Williams looked Shannon Sharpe dead in the face and said one line that should have changed everything. Big black man, small white woman. That wasn't a joke, it was a warning. And what did Shannon do? Laughed it off like it was just another joke for the internet. But what if Shannon was already tangled up in exactly what Katt was trying to save him from? Because while Katt was talking, Shannon was knee-deep in a situation that's now spiraled into one of the biggest scandals of his life.
Too weak.
That clip wasn't just viral, it was a prophecy. And now it's exploding into lawsuits, headlines, and backlash that's only getting louder. This ain't just celeb gossip. It's about power, race, and reckless behavior that's way too real to ignore. Katt saw it coming. Too bad Shannon didn't listen. And now we're here. Shannon Sharpe, NFL legend, TV star, to the internet, is drowning in a $50 million legal nightmare. And the woman at the center? Not just a white OnlyFans model, she's barely old enough to be his granddaughter. Her name, Gabriela Zuniga. And what she's accusing Shannon of? It's beyond wild. The lawsuit filed in Nevada hits him with 2 counts of rape, emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, and secretly recording their private moments without her consent. It gets darker. She says Shannon even threatened her life. This ain't just a messy breakup. This is serious. According to the documents, they met in a gym in LA in 2023. Shannon, 54. Gabriela, just 19. That's a 35-year age gap. You heard that right. Now ask yourself, how does a teenage girl barely out of high school end up locked into something this twisted with a man who's been rich and famous since before she was born? It didn't start with drama. It started with flirting at the gym. But it didn't take long for that to snowball into something disturbing. And the deeper you go into this story, the uglier it gets. At first, people were just giving him side eyes for the age gap. But when those allegations hit, the entire tone shifted. This ain't just about being older, it's about control, power. A grown man with influence chasing someone barely old enough to vote. Shannon had the fame, the money, the platform, and Gabriela, she was just a kid in his world. And now she's the one pulling back the curtain on what really went down. This wasn't just an age gap, this was a mental and emotional canyon. We're talking decades of difference in life experience, and now folks are looking at Shannon with a whole new side eye. But buckle up, and it gets way creepier. Because this wasn't just an older man with a younger woman. According to court filings, Shannon was deep into race play, and not on accident. Gabriela claims he asked for it, pushed it, and took it to disturbing extremes. If you're unfamiliar, race play involves racially charged fantasies acted out in the bedroom. And in this case, the power imbalance was insane. A rich, 54-year-old black man allegedly telling a 19-year-old white girl to say stuff like, "Put a big black baby in me." That's not just a red flag, that's a full-on emergency alarm. And it gets worse. Gabriela didn't just make up that wording. The internet's convinced Shannon introduced it. Why? Because when he released those leaked texts, he only showed her side. His words? Missing. Suspicious, right? Those messages don't sound like a teenager talking. They sound coached. Let's be real. What 19-year-old Hawaiian girl is out here saying phrases like big black baby and baby gravy on her own? That's not her voice. That's a fetish fantasy playing out. And it's got people sick.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown.
You know, it is a shakedown. It is a targeted attack, but Shannon needed to have some accountability because he gave them something to shake down. He gave them something to target by making poor choices.
Shannon, how you talking to me?
Now it's not just fans raising eyebrows. It's a full-on internet meltdown. Folks are shocked at how reckless Shannon was. If these claims are real, this isn't just scandal. It's a reputation in flames. And just when it couldn't get worse, boom, leaked audio hits the net. In the clip, you can hear Shannon say something wild like, "I might choke you in public." Wait, what? That ain't a misquote. That's a grown man, on tape, leaning right into the exact warning Katt Williams gave him. Big black man, small white woman. And now there's audio feeding that very stereotype. And the tone? chilling. No jokes, no playing. This didn't sound like fantasy. It sounded like a man way too comfortable crossing the line. And what makes it even darker, that leaked audio might have come from one of their role-play sessions. Yeah, Gabriella baited him, mentioning getting choked, and Shannon, he took the bait without hesitation. The second he responded, it was game over. That moment got recorded, and now it's center stage in court. Whether or not it started out consensual, the way it's being flipped now, it's savage, and might be the thing that ends his entire career. And let's not forget, she's 19, just stepped into adulthood, and now she's the face of one of the biggest lawsuits in the entertainment world. Fans heard that audio and instantly made up their minds. Baited or not, Shannon chose to engage, and that's on him. But it gets wilder. This wasn't some girlfriend situation. This was strictly business. According to leaked messages, Gabriella told Shannon straight up, she wanted $25,000 per cheek. Yeah, $25,000 each side. That's not love. That's a contract. The vibe? Fully transactional. No romance, no real connection. Just cash for content. And once money's on the table like that, things get murky fast. Consent gets blurry, control shifts, and the emotional lines get crossed. But it doesn't stop there. Even more leaked texts show Gabriella saying wild stuff like wanting Shannon to put a big black baby in her, and even mentioning some crazy stuff about his brown balloon knot. If you know, you know, and it's way out of pocket. But here's the thing, nobody believes she came up with that talk on her own. People are convinced Shannon coached her, told her what to say, fed his fantasies through her voice. It wasn't spontaneous, it was scripted, directed, a fetish made real. And now that everything's gone public, Shannon's polished media image, shattered, that clean-cut unk persona, gone. His brand, on life support. Even if some moments were technically consensual, it doesn't matter anymore. The way it all played out makes Shannon look straight up predatory. Let's keep it real. He was 54. She was barely 19. That's not just a number. That's two completely different lives. That's what's making fans stop and ask, why would a man with all that success and power risk it all for someone younger than his own kids?
I know one thing. If you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now. Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday. Sit your old ass down and go find somebody your age and build a family with them. As I said yesterday, men, we need stability and we need discipline.
Yeah, do the math. She's young enough to be his granddaughter. This wasn't some love story. This was a grown man chasing a girl he could mold, control, and manipulate before she even knew what she signed up for. This was never about romance. It was about power. Gabriella didn't just wake up saying wild race-based stuff. That wasn't her language. She was clearly coached, repeating what Shannon wanted to hear, just to keep him satisfied. Now, she flipped it all into a legal war that's setting the internet on fire. And at this point, it's not even about what's legal. It's about what's right. Everyone's asking, what was a 54-year-old man doing in that type of situation with a 19-year-old in the first place? While this whole mess was blowing up, Shannon tried to flip the script. Quick. He went public, claiming he was the real victim, called the whole thing a setup, labeled the lawsuit a shakedown, and went after Gabriella's lawyer, Tony Busby, saying he targets successful black men. Sure, Busby's gone after big names before, even Jay-Z, but Shannon's black man under attack card, it backfired hard. Because here's the contradiction everyone's calling out. How you gon' cry racism in public when behind closed doors you were allegedly paying white women to degrade you in race play? It's not adding up at all. People aren't buying it. They're saying, where was this energy when you were letting a teenager call you racial names for money? Now that he's under fire, suddenly he wants the community's support? And get this, Shannon tried to warn fans in advance. He said Busby might leak a 30-second clip from a private tape and it would play into every stereotype imaginable. But instead of cooling things down, that made folks more suspicious. Like, what's on that tape? And why is he so scared? Unless Gabriella's telling the truth, why panic? Now the internet's dragging out every old clip. Shannon's being reminded that for years, he used his platform to clown black women, made jokes, threw shade, acted like they were beneath him. But now, when things crash, that's when he wants sympathy from the same people he once mocked? Nah, it's not flying this time. The internet's got receipts, and they're airing him out. Clips from Club Shay Shay are resurfacing. He laughed off real talk from folks like Katt Williams and Monique, who literally tried to warn him, telling him to date women closer to his age and avoid these exact problems. And what did Shannon do? Giggle and brush it off. now, every warning he ignored is coming back to haunt him, publicly. Fans aren't calling this a conspiracy anymore. Shannon's reputation isn't going up in flames because of some secret plot. It's burning because of his own decisions. Let's rewind to that Club Shay Shay timeline, where this mess really started to unravel. When Katt Williams gave that viral warning about white women flipping the script, Shannon was already messing with Gabriella behind closed doors. Did he pause to reflect? Nah, he just sat there nodding and smirking like none of it applied to him. Then came Monique, looking him dead in the eye and dropping real talk. Get yourself a grown woman, someone who can see through the nonsense. She wasn't clowning. She was speaking from life experience. But Shannon just laughed it off like it was cute. Now fans are realizing the ugly truth. While Katt and Monique were giving him real wisdom, Shannon was already deep in it. Already linked with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model while pretending to be clean-cut for the cameras. It's that fake image that's got people heated. He had every chance to course correct. The warnings were right there, and he still chose to play with fire. Now, all those old clips, they hit different. Every smirk, every dismissive chuckle, every slick line. We know what he was hiding now, and there's nowhere left to hide. The worst part? No one's defending his polished image anymore. The internet's roasting him for being out of touch and reckless. People keep asking, why is a man pushing 60 still chasing barely legal girls? Why risk your whole legacy for a ticking time bomb? This ain't just about one mistake. It's a pattern, one we've seen destroy plenty of careers. And when folks realized Gabriella is younger than his own kids, that just made it worse. Real bad. This isn't oppression. This isn't a setup. It's arrogance. The kind that thinks you're too famous to fall. Shannon's case is now a cautionary tale. Proof that money and status won't protect you when your choices catch up. As one fan put it best, this ain't about tearing down a black man. This is about holding a grown man accountable. Let's call it what it is. A full-blown fall from grace. Shannon Sharpe ignored every warning, chased the wrong type of attention, and now he's tangled in a $50 million lawsuit from Gabriella Zuniga, a 19-year-old who says their relationship wasn't even close to consensual. These aren't light claims. We're talking accusations of rape, emotional abuse, secret recordings, and twisted race play that he allegedly pushed. Leaked texts and audio didn't help. They made it worse. Shannon's credibility shattered. His image done. Trying to spin it as a black man under attack ain't working, because the facts don't match the story he's pushing. He ignored red flags. He chased control. He mishandled serious accusations. And now he's wide open, exposed, and under fire. If you liked this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We've got way more coming, so stay locked in. See you on the next one.